Interpretive dance. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen of that humble internet. My name is Ryan, aka the Ryeman, and we have returned for some more Ryeman's Bizarre Adventures in Katawa Shoujo. Oh, that's right. We're going to have a good meeting with Emi's mom. Would be tracking up certain music, but I don't want to anger the YouTube gods, because God forbid I use a song even for 2 seconds for comedic effects. Yep. Pressing V on my keyboard, thinking, oh, is it like in Wind's Change where there's text to speech? That would be fucking magical. At the mention of Emi's father, oh, that's right. I had come to the realization that the father is dead, like D-E-D dead, superhero levels of dead. I think I made a joke about doing this on Father's Day, but I did not feel like waiting. So, about those daddy issues. Mrs. Ibarazaki looks wistful, almost sad. He got her into running, you know. Deflection! I like it! Yeah, she told me. I'm uncertain as to whether or not it would be rude of me to ask after Emi's father. Not only would it not be rude, but it would be hysterical. But after that look on her face a few days ago, I feel compelled to ask. Do it. Do it. I'm getting too excited over this horrible and awkward situation. So, where is the father now, might I ask? I was so excited, I missed the space bar. I'm just pounding the desk. Emi's mother hesitates, clearly not willing to answer the question, but at the same time not wishing to appear rude. If Rin chimes in a deadpan manner, he dead. I will go back and redo the entirety of Rin's chapters and deem her second best girl in this whole story. Swear on me, Mum. He isn't around anymore. Are you saying you're single? I don't know what this was. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring up bad memories. I'm a terrible person. And if it exists, I'm going straight to hell. Emmy, why am I laughing? Emmy just seemed a little sad when she mentioned him earlier. She has no reason to be. Hanuko's over here missing both parents. They dead in fire. She's closer to being Batman than Emmy is. That's not surprising, considering... I swear, I think more of me is bleeding through his sow, and it's just pushing him to make this more awkward than it needs to be. 'Cause Hisao can't read the fucking room, nor can he put two and two together. That he might have been driving that, not him, Hisao, that the father might have been driving that car that not only cost him his life, but Emi's legs. They were very close. And after that accident, inseparable. They had to use the jaws of life to peel both the carcasses away from each other. I'm a terrible, horrible human being. I see! A beeping noise suddenly emanates from Mrs. Ibarazaki's pocket. Reaching into it, she pulls out a cell phone and looks at it. Honestly, text messages? What is he, 16?
Is the father alive?
Has the father been alive this entire time? Have I been laughing in the past few days? Have I been laughing at dead dad jokes? And he's not even dead?
For the sake of my comedy, we will remedy this. I have just been made aware that I can't necessarily go from the real world and kill an anime character. I haven't reached that power yet. Oh, nothing. I've got to meet up with a friend of mine. So is the dad dead or not? Someone is dying for the sake of me making a horrible dark comedy joke. Will you tell Emmy I'm very proud of her and that I'll call her later tonight? I've got it. The dad is dead. She cut the brake lines so she can fuck the pool boy. Oh, Katawa Shoujo 2 is gonna be very fucking interesting. Of course. Rin's just got nothing to add to that. I'll admit that I zone out for a while. I almost don't notice that the relay is about to begin, but when I look, I can't find Emmy. I thought that Emmy would be running the relay. She runs anchor. She won't be running for a while yet. Ah! Did you see it? Huh? Emmy at her Emmyest. Maybe? Maybe this time. The race begins and I hear Emmy's teammates along as they pass the baton. Finally, I see Emmy sprinting onto the track to take the final handoff. Once again, I'm taken aback at how graceful she looks when she runs. It's really beautiful. The look of determination and fearlessness on her face only adds to the picture. Emmy at her Emmyest, I suppose. So, one arm girl figuring that... One hand girl figuring that she's missing one of these runs almost as fast as Emmy because of the lack of additional weight. Don't ask where I get these things. Don't Google me. But then, as she crosses the finish line, I see her stumble slightly. It's only barely, but it's definitely a stumble. Rin inhales sharply and actually looks concerned for a second. Ah, Emmy. Did she hurt herself, do you think? You noticed it too. It must be bad. She frowns, as if deciding on the next course of action. Eventually, that proves to be too tiresome, and she shrugs again. Well, let's go down. Gotta crown the victor. See if you can find a laurel branch. That's not going to be easy at this time. Rin shrugs. At least we tried. Well, we didn't really try all that hard, and that's the best kind of trying. Or at all. But hey, what the fuck ever. Emmy is surrounded by her teammates, all of them congratulating her on the run. Rin seems to be waiting for Emmy to notice that she's arrived. Oh yeah, I guess she can't exactly wave over at Emmy. Technically she can, but she has to fucking wave her feet! That'd be very awkward to do. I'm super glad I didn't accidentally kick something. Back in focus, okay. Then again, but then again, stroke is past. Then again, I'm not sure that Rin would do such a thing even if she had arms. Yes, I am in my PJs because I just got home from work. Thank you for asking. It doesn't seem her style to draw attention to herself, or to emote beyond shrugging. Either way, I'm not willing to wait, so I wave to Emmy, who looks up and grins happily at me or us. Hey! You showed up! Guess Rin owes me money, huh? We would have brought you a crown of laurels, but Hasao didn't find one. Hey, neither did you. It wasn't my job to look. When did we assign jobs? When I said, see if you can find a laurel branch. Try to keep up. I shrug, guess Rin's rubbing off on me. Seems it's my fault after all, Emmy. That's a tip for a successful life, guys. Just always take the blame. Emmy laughs at Rin and me. It's okay. I'm sure you'll make it up to me somehow. Sure. Good. So how'd I look? You stumbled at the end, girl. Were you having a stroke? I stopped myself from blurting out beautiful or amazing and settled for the substantially safer very impressive. Emmy seems pleased with this assessment. I don't mention how much more impressive her performance is given her lack of legs. I just figure she knows that already. Besides, it seems like it would take away from her efforts somehow. Great to hear! I was worried that I looked a little slow on the relay, but I guess I did fine, huh? Actually, Rin kicks me and keeps me from finishing my sentence. What was that all about? He noticed it at the end. Why couldn't I fucking say it? That's no good. Guess a nurse will look at it for me later. There's a carelessness in her voice, as if it isn't a big deal. But I suddenly noticed a slight twitch on her face. Like she's trying to hide the fact that she's in pain. Her stumps must be bloody. It's then that I notice her breathing is a little shallow, too. I guess she really is hurt. She must notice my concern, because she skips up to me and gives me a friendly pat on the shoulder. Hey, you look a little worried. I'm fine, really. I'm more concerned by how you do the cat thing with your lips. That's not natural for humans to do. Just sore from all the running is all. And come on, a little pain isn't going to stop me. Oh no! Emmy grins, and for a moment she looks like she did it during her sprint. Fierce and unconquerable. Or to put it another way, really beautiful. Sal, you're at a 9. You need to dial way back down to a 4. Hasn't yet? Well then, I guess I shouldn't worry, huh? Damn right! I'm Emmy Ibarazaki, motherfucker. Or will we be the other way? I'm Emmy motherfucking Ibarazaki. Fastest thing on no legs. I don't stop for anything. Impressive. Emmy giggles and then seems to remember something. Oh, before I forget, Ray and I are going to do something next Sunday as a post-track meet celebration. You should come along. Well, I suppose there's literally nothing better for me to fucking do. Normally we do it the day after, but since the track meet was on a Sunday, I've got homework and class and all that stuff to take care of. Plus, our morning run, of course. Right. Of course. Oh, right. Your mom wanted me to say she's proud of you. She'll call you later tonight. I thought I saw her in the stands. I'm glad she made it. Used to be my dad who showed up to my meets. My mom's done a pretty good job of taking over. She shivers slightly. That was not slightly. That was an actual full-blown seizure. She shivers slightly, and I realize that she's still all sweaty. A breeze has started to blow, too. I'm not cold at all. I've got my jacket with me, so without a word, I throw it around her shoulders. But we can't afford that new picture. Emmy jumps slightly and then grins at me. Hey, thanks. I'm getting a little cold, I guess. Yeah, you looked like it. Just as I begin to wonder whether or not giving Emmy my jacket would be taken the wrong way, a boy in a track uniform approaches. Hey, Emmy, you're going to miss the medal ceremony. Oh, yeah, thanks. Yes, I am available for all your voice acting needs. She turns to Rin and myself. You don't have to stick around for this part. It takes forever. Besides, you should get cracking on your homework now if you don't want to be up late as hell. Morning run tomorrow, don't forget. How could I? Good point. I mean, it's spending time with me, after all. With this, she waves quickly and dashes off to receive her medals, or whatever they pass off as a medal these days. It's cripple school. It's mostly participation trophies. Ren and I head away from the track, Ren remaining deep in whatever thoughts she has for most of the walk back to her dorm. As I see her off, she speaks up. You're probably not getting that coat back, I think. That is something with chicks I don't understand. They always take your jackets and your hoodies. I'm sure I'll get it back eventually. Interesting. Take it as it comes, huh? Very Emmy-ish. It's with this odd statement she turns and heads into the building. Honestly, what was that a big deal? Emmy was cold and, unless I'm mistaken, in pain. Given her solution to at least one of those problems seems like an obvious reaction. Though I guess there's a chance I could lose my jacket if ever remembers to return it. I guess Rin has a point. Still, I can't bring myself to muster much worry over the whole thing. After all, it's been getting warmer lately. I don't need a jacket. I'm a man! Odd, I think I used to be a little more responsible with my stuff. Emmy-ish, huh? It sounds like an insult. Maybe that's not really a bad thing. Maybe not. I don't know. That is the end of a chapter. I could... How long has the... You see, I didn't... How long has that been there? Has that been there for the whole time? I didn't notice because every time I looked over, all I saw was white. And with the light hitting my white shirt. How long has that fucking been there? I'm not editing this out. I ain't redoing this. You haven't been forgetting to take your medicine, have you? I'm catching a little murmur. You should take it easy for a few days. The nurse's words hurt me far more than the exhaustion of the morning run ever could. Take it easy for a few days? I knew I should have kept quiet. I keep my eyes on the floor, feeling like a complete idiot. Of course, I haven't been remembering to take my meds. I've been rushing out of my room to get to the track before Emmy. After the track me a few days ago, I felt inspired. So I've been running warm-up laps in the morning before Emmy shows up. But then today, while she and I were running, I felt a little pain in my chest. It was only slight, but it was only for a second, so I mentioned it to the nurse. That's where you make your mistakes, by talking. Honestly, it wasn't that bad. I mean, I kept running and finished just fine, so really it couldn't have been that bad. Why do I feel like I'm making excuses to the nurse? Moreover, why do I feel the need to justify continuing to run despite the pain? Really, it comes down to I'm making sure that tag's not flipping its way back up. Man, it's a good thing I don't consider myself a professional. Really comes down to my being unwilling to concern Emmy, who seemed concerned anyway. I'm not sure how she was able to tell there was anything wrong, but she claims I stumbled a little. She's the one who insists I tell the nurse, so now I feel bad for worrying her at all. The nurse is shaking his head ruefully while Emmy paces outside the room. Yes, Sal, I know it's difficult for you to get into a new routine, but if you don't want to die, you're going to have to try harder. You can't afford to forget your pills, and you can't push yourself too hard. Tell that to the legless lolly pacing outside who's been running me ragged. But if I don't push myself, how will I improve? I don't know where the fuck that came from. I have... You have 3 guesses, and the first 2 don't count, you dumbass! The nurse seems to have an idea. Now where have I heard that before? He laughs and pats me on the shoulder. Ha! She's rubbing off on you, I guess. His expression changes again, and he's back in serious mode. Look, I'm not saying you shouldn't push yourself, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't be taking your medication, and it doesn't mean you should stop if your chest starts to bother you. I prefer not to have any fatalities while I'm on staff here. You chose the wrong season of this playthrough. A bit of a lofty goal, to be sure, but I'm always up for a challenge. Does that imply there have been fatalities that we are not being told? I want to read that story. I hate to admit, but I think he's right. I've got to remember to take my medication. You're right. Sorry to worry you. Who's worried? You're a smart kid. I know you're going to be responsible, Hisao. A situation like yours, you've got to learn to be responsible fast. I know. His expression suddenly becomes devious. I suppose you started to enjoy your runs with Emmy then, eh? Yeah, they've really been helping me. I mean, until today, I was feeling a lot more healthy. Plus, it's really impressive to see me run. Did you see her at the track meet? She was incredible! The nurse nods, grinning all the while. That she was, Sisao. I watched her first couple of races before I had some business to take care of, but she told me all about it. Kind of you to loan her your jacket, by the way. Huh? Oh yeah, it wasn't that big of a deal. I'd honestly forgotten all about that. I still haven't gotten it back. The nurse gets a smile that makes me feel like he just made a joke and it went over my fucking head, because I'm an idiot. Not to you, but Emmy certainly appreciated it. And I know she appreciates you running with her in the mornings. This one catches me off guard a little bit. Sure, she mentioned that it's easier to keep to a sketch with an extra person, but I didn't think I was doing her a favor at all. I thought she was doing me a favor of helping me follow the doctor's orders. She tries harder when you're around. If there's someone else running with her, she's going to push herself more. And she tries even harder when you're around because, well, it's you. Yeah, I am a very good motivation for people to run. Usually when they see me approaching behind, they take off running. What the fuck does that mean? Oh no, you'd love to know why did I go Scottish? Why did I go Scottish? What did you know? What? When you do such a bad Jamaican accent, you go full Scottish. He laughs in the style of evil megalomaniacs. No, sir. It's because you're her friend. If Rin ran with her, I'm sure she'd do the same. I can't imagine Rin running, I'm sorry. Well, probably. But that's not the point. The point is you're helping her, even if you don't know you are. Man. And she's grateful for that, even if she never says it. Man, I have to keep throwing that dumb bit after the end of every sentence to remind myself I'm supposed to be giving this guy a Jamaican accent. As bad as it is, and I know it's bad, don't need the reminder. Oh, what do you mean even if she never says it? Emmy doesn't talk a lot, but she and I have known each other long enough that I can read her most of the time. I'll admit it, I have no idea what the fuck he's talking about. I mean, he always seems pretty talkative to me. I see. The nurse suddenly realizes that he's been rambling and stops talking, looking a little embarrassed. Anyway, you don't have to stop your morning exercises, man. Just walk to the track instead of running for a few days. The things calm down. And take your fucking meds! Fuck! This little chick's fucking eavesdropping. This thing that's been killing your people and I. Okay. I'm gonna end things here with that last horrible line that I just spouted out. If you can guess what movie I just referenced, you will get a bonus point. Folks, if you had fun whatsoever sticking through this and having a laugh at how atrocious I've been actually handling this entire situation, give it a like. If you didn't like it, share it with people to make them suffer with you. Subscribe if you would like to see more. If you would like to help donate to help the empire grow and help me and the everything else out, for better content, better quality, maybe I'll hire some actual voice actors to help out with this. I do have a Patreon out. Feel free or feel not free. We're in a fucking free country. And until the next time we meet, everyone, stop looking at me like that, girl. Stay awesome out there. Adios. Straight to hell I go.